She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
Welcome to the Twin Peaks podcast.
Damn good coffee. And hot. Would everyone please take a seat?
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 16 of the Twin Peaks podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Melanie.
I'm Brad.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Paul Maki.
Hey,
Yay, Paul!
Welcome.
Thank you.
You've sent us a couple of voicemails in the past, I think.
Yes.
Yes, a little bit of the Twin Peaks bachelor party comes to mind.
It's the one that
yes.
freaked me out, because I thought you hated us.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, that was the previous one. I said that you all sucked. But
Oh yeah, that was the other one.
Oh,
It's
Right.
true, by the way.
Yeah, we do suck.
we've come to accept it.
Yeah, I fully endorse that.
no, actually, I'm the one who sucks. I don't know if you guys are aware. I had a bit of a spoiler issue recently at another intro cast.
Yeah,
Yes, we heard.
I'm aware.
But we all forgive you.
Yes.
You can let the world know.
I could let the world know, but I'm not telling him exactly what I said because then people get spoiled.
Yeah.
But I'll get some spoilers out of my system. Not non-Twin Peaks spoilers here, but I've got a list of 5 things here. So
It's just ruined somebody else's day. Go ahead.
yeah, let's go for it. Well, they're not terribly specific. All right, number 1, it's a sled. Number 2, it's actually his father. Number 3, that chick is actually a dude. Number 4, he was dead all along. And of course, number 5, you can kill them with water.
Is number 4 Weekend at Bernie's?
Could
They're
be.
all Weekend at Bernie's.
So there's 5 spoilers about Weekend at Bernie's, so you don't need to see that movie anymore. Well, that's good. So hopefully you won't spoil anything from now on, right, Paul?
Yeah, I think I'm purged.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a late email from last week for the previous episode. I'll just read it real quick. It's from Matthias. Okay, so Matthias says, so I guess this is the episode that we've all been waiting for the newcomers' reaction to. I guess with all the talk on Facebook and the last podcast, you knew this episode was something special. Did you see this coming? When I look back at the other episodes, I always wonder why I didn't understand Bob was the killer. We talked about most of this stuff, I imagine, so I'm just going to read this email and we won't spend too much time on it. In Sweden, we were a couple of months behind the American airings of Twin Peaks, and there was a rumor at school that Laura was killed by her father around the airings of the first season finale. I didn't believe that. When this episode was about to air, the Swedish newspaper's headliners screamed, "Tonight we will find out who killed Laura Palmer." So I knew when I was watching it that something was about to happen. I remember thinking, or did my sister say it, so it was him when Leland was correcting his tie when Sarah had passed out. When Bob appeared in the mirror, I was terrified, and I somehow knew I would never see something like this again, and I never have. Did this episode come out of nowhere in the US, or did you know that you would find out? Did you watch it originally, Paul?
Yeah, I watched it live. I can't recall whether I knew anything about it ahead of time.
I think there was a big ad campaign that something was going to happen in that episode. Trivia. Ray Wise tells a sad story about how he found out that he was the killer, but did he know when they filmed the murder of Maddie that it would be intercut with scenes with Bob? I'd like to know that. What do you make of Bob now? Is it Bob or Leland that kills? What is Bob? Is he tied to Leland? And if he's not, was he tied to Leland when Laura was killed? Was Leland telling the truth when he told Cooper about living next to Bob when he was a kid? Regarding my last feedback about what Mike was saying, and if the giant said the same thing, I was thinking about to have seen him, but not his body. I'm not sure if this makes any sense. I'm a bit drunk. Love you all. Matthias. Alright, thanks, Matthias.
We love you too, Matthias.
We love you too. Okay, let's get into this episode.
This is Season 2, Episode 8, Drive with a Dead Girl. The town hums with activity as Cooper and Truman get help from one-armed man in search for Bob.
Right.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Nah.
There's humming of activity, though.
I think the one-armed man gave them more trouble than anything.
Yeah, he was a little rambunctious in this episode.
Also, I like how this description says, help from one-armed man.
Yeah. Still doesn't have a name.
Still no name.
But it's help from one armed man.
Yeah, not
It's not even the.
Yeah.
It's just a guy who has an arm.
That's his name.
Okay.
Horrible.
All right, so we start out and Leland's playing golf in his living room.
Well, actually, it opens up with the night before. You hear like the screams.
Yes, we transition from the scream into the golf.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure if that golf mat really is big enough to cover up all of that blood. I suppose that's what it's there for.
Oh, you think? I never thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be true.
I do enjoy how he's winding down with practicing his driving range skills.
Got to do something. Can't kill everyone all the time.
I think this is conclusive proof, however, that golf is evil.
Yes, I agree. And Donna and James come to say goodbye.
Okay, now, I have to tell you guys, there was like a weird glitch going on with Netflix.
Yeah?
At least I assume it's a weird glitch. There was like an echo for this whole first part.
Oh, really?
When and it was just the dialogue.
Yeah, I didn't have an echo, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, it came back later, so that's when I realized, oh, that wasn't intentional. But it stopped. It stopped when Sarah Palmer called for Leland, and he like looks upstairs, and then the echo stopped, and it was super creepy.
Oh.
Did they all sound like Mike?
A little bit. It was really disturbing. I was like, what is this what it sounds like now? We have Bob Unleashed, so we get creepo echoes every time he's in a room.
We've entered a whole new world.
Oof.
Alright, so it seems that Sarah is unaware of anything that is wrong, and Leland's back to acting, well, not normal, but...
Good old Leland.
He's back to good old Leland, normal or not. And Maddie's in a golf bag.
I love when they're laughing. When, like, he goes upstairs and fucking James and Donna are laughing.
Yeah.
You're laughing at the crazy guy that just that has murdered someone and is distraught over his daughter's murder, for all you know. And you're laughing at him because he's playing golf indoors? Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Bob's scheme is working, if that's his scheme, and not just Leland being wacky.
I think Donna and James are a bit giddy. When Leland said, "Oh, Maddie thought you were coming over last night," James kind of looked at Donna in a sort of like secret smile way.
Like they'd been up to no good last night.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
And this is those days before unlimited cell phone plans and email and everything, So it's you could write her.
Yes.
Because it's unthinkable to call Missoula for any length of time.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Leland leaves with his death bag.
Yes, the death bag.
He caught someone with his death bag.
Love it. So I love that Bob... we have this image of, like, long-haired, squirrely-looking Bob with, like, his denim and, like, looking gritty. But yet at the same time, he loves golf and musicals.
I think it's also conclusive proof that musical revivals are evil.
Never.
He also really likes denim. Whenever you see the shot of Bob, he's like head to toe denim.
What era is he out of?
It was the early 90s.
Yeah, the jean jacket craze of the late 80s was still in full swing, I think.
Yeah, I would say so.
We see Ben frustrated by the uncleanliness of his jail cell.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was a good touch.
Indeed. He's incredibly filthy.
He's not comfortable in there at all.
At least his jail cell is clean, though.
Yeah, we've got the Ben Horn OCD on there.
I think it's good for him to simmer in the jail cell. Even though he didn't kill anybody, he deserves to stay there.
Yeah, he's been up to no good, for sure.
Oh yeah, he has ordered people to, like Leo, to kill other people, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, his hands aren't exactly clean. He's also killed the spirit of countless girls up in One-Eyed Jack's shirt.
Yeah, for sure.
FO. I love that Jerry is like, he's like, well, I'm gonna have to be your lawyer, because Leland being accused of murder, he's not allowed to be your lawyer. I don't think that's why Leland's not gonna be your lawyer, Ben. Just a wild guess.
It doesn't help. You don't want the guy who's representing you to be accused of...
Father of the girl you murdered.
That too, yeah. Either one is bad idea.
I think it's fun that Jerry completely thinks it's entirely in the realm of possibility that he did it too. Did you do it?
Yeah, it kind of hints that he's not above killing people.
And at least one or both of these guys has had intimate relations with her in the past, possibly both.
Probably.
Hopefully not at the same time.
Oh no. What did you guys think of the flashlight dance?
It was when I first saw it back in on the air date. It was just bizarre. I was not at all able to figure out what was going on with that.
That's how I feel right now.
What weirds me out is how much the girl looks like Audrey.
Oh,
Yes, exactly what I was thinking.
Oh.
And the dancing,
It goes on for a long time.
Yes, it would not end.
Yeah.
It was getting awkward.
And this wasn't directed by David Lynch either. Maybe somebody was trying to go for the David Lynch extended awkwardness, but they failed.
Yes. Amateurs.
They don't do it as well. It's just plain awkward.
I did enjoy the glimpse of Ben and Jerry's bespectacled children, though.
Yeah.
that was great casting.
Yes, it really was.
So here we get Lucy's sister Gwen.
Yay. Lucy turned up to 11.
And she doesn't know Hawk's name. Learn it. Learn it. Fear it. Do not trifle with him, for he will be the one to arrest you for child neglect one day, man.
I get the feeling that she's probably in there. I don't know if this is true, but I feel like maybe some people were annoyed with the Lucy character, and they just put this character in there to show us how much worse it could have been.
I loved the choice of actress for her sister.
Oh, do you know her?
I thought it was perfect. I'd seen her in a few other things.
Yeah, she's listed as Kathleen Wilhoit or Wilhoit, is that it?
Yeah.
Apparently she sang backup for the Carpenters back in her youth.
Oh.
As part of a youth choir.
So she makes some comments about white people, none of which I will quote directly, but...
I'm not clear on whether she's married and her husband stayed behind, or whether she's a single mom.
She seems to hate men.
I'm assuming she's single.
You know, maybe Lucy should hook her up with Dick.
Maybe.
I think they would be a perfect match.
That sounds really
Jermaine
swell.
deserves better.
Want to do the next one, Mel? What do you got next?
So they basically destroyed the one-armed man. From the way they said it, anyways.
Yeah.
They said that they were just with the one-armed man, or what was left of him. So they basically used them.
After they finished mining him for leads.
Yeah.
Questionable tactics.
The poor guy, though. I feel bad for him, even though he's kind of sort of evil, but sort of good. I can't decide.
He's still a mystery.
He's a mystery, yeah.
Yeah.
He changed his ways and took the whole arm off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leland is still happy dancing.
What would you call that dance? What would you guys call that? Is that a shuffle? What is that? I'm gonna call it the Leland Shuffle.
I think that's what it's actually called.
Is it? Oh, perfect.
That's what the fans refer to it as, I'm pretty sure.
Perfect. How did I know this? I probably subconscious.
Probably. So they inform Leland that Ben was arrested for Laura's death.
And this is when he finds out that Jacques wasn't the killer. It's been, a week? And they never told him? They never told him.
Even when he was hauled in for questioning about Jacques.
They were probably scared that he was going to act up again.
Yeah, they do give him a big wink, wink. P.S. Don't kill this one, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just horrible.
I don't know. With the acting, he has to be all distraught here when he learns this news. But for me, I can see a difference between Leland being distraught now and Leland being distraught earlier in the series. Now it looks... It's my opinion, I don't know this for sure, but it seems like this is Bob pretending to be distraught. But as before, maybe it was really Leland really being distraught, or maybe Bob was just acting better before, I don't know.
I don't think there's any Leland left. Maybe, trapped way down inside there, but it's all Bob.
Do you think...
I think we had a few glimpses of him.
Of Leland?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to point any out?
I think there was a moment when he was walking away from them when he was actually breaking down and crying, but then it turned into laughter. But I think he was legitimately crying at one point there.
Yeah, it could be. You got any opinions on that, Paul? Or
Well, I'm not really sure what I can say without moving into things that happen in later episodes. So I think I'll recuse myself on the grounds that I've seen the things.
Okay, it is dicey. Yeah, I'm trying to word myself particularly.
Also, I do love at the very end of the scene, he comes back and he takes a peek before he finishes his dance. Just to make sure. It's clear. Awesome. Yeah. I gotta dance this out.
Yes.
But I do see it does seem like Cooper suspects him of something more suddenly. He goes back to talk to him, and when Harry asks him if everything's okay, he's like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he can tell something's off.
But his face when he's laughing, it looks like a really bad little kid getting away with I don't know, breaking a window or something with his baseball.
Yeah.
It's my boy Bob.
He is making the best faces though.
Really, he really is.
Yes.
Love it.
Move on to the next scene.
They're using gloves.
They're using gloves. Well,
Finally.
it's the Doc. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And Ben can't handle the pain.
This won't hurt. Ow!
And he sticks his gross bloody finger in his mouth.
He did? I didn't even see that.
What, do you just let it bleed all over the place, Brad?
He had something to wipe it on. You don't have to put it in your mouth.
I just get this visual of Brad not wanting to put his bleeding finger in his mouth, and he's just holding it and it's spraying everywhere.
Your mouth doesn't seal off a wound.
But it keeps it from spraying on everything. Dripping on it.
I'll just use my mouth as a container for blood.
Until you find something to catch it with.
The doctor usually has that nice little cute round Band-Aid for it.
Yeah. I don't drink blood for fun or anything, Brad.
It's not true.
Mel, get out of there. Get out of there.
I know all his dirty secrets.
So we find out Jerry is a terrible lawyer.
But he does give Ben some pretty good advice.
But smoking a pipe won't make you a better lawyer either. He's smoking that pipe like it's gonna improve his skills. I don't think so.
No, I think he's doing that just because that's what he wants to do at the time.
It's cool. That's what lawyers do.
I love Jerry.
I love Jerry too.
I can't help looking at Jerry and thinking of his character in the Warriors, though.
Yeah, me too. With the beer bottles.
Yes. Yes, his blood might have Laura's fingerprints on it.
That was so ridiculous.
I'm not sure exactly how he meant that.
I think it was supposed to mean that he didn't really understand what the whole process was supposed to be accomplishing.
Yeah, I'd agree. But he does tell Ben to get a better lawyer, so
yeah.
I think he did his job good enough.
Yeah. And his other piece of advice is say it's a book or something. But do you guys think Dale is doing a good job interrogating here?
He's not really asking any questions.
No.
As much as he's just kind of menacing and hoping for him to break.
Yeah.
I find he's the most FBI-ish I've seen him so far, though, in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's very aloof in this episode.
Yeah, that's what I found too.
Next we have Bobby getting industrious once again.
That's what I wrote too. Yeah.
As did I.
I wrote that he's now a member of the Crips. That's what it looks like. That bandana.
But he's working on a blackmail scheme.
It's good work.
Yeah. Why the heck not?
It's going to get him into the executive suite.
I would just take the cash and leave instead of asking for a job, if that's his plan.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if he seriously is just going to be like, all right, Ben, I gotcha. Now give me a job, please. Oh, please let it be that ridiculous.
And I like that Shelley thinks it's going to be that easy, too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, that's great. That sounds like that would be wonderful, Bobby. Of course you can be an executive.
She's just desperate for any hope.
Leo spits his food up all over her, and then Bobby licks it.
You guys grossed out as we were by this?
Yeah.
That was in Leo's gross-ass mouth.
Oh.
I gagged. I guess it doesn't help that I don't like ketchup, but...
Was it ketchup?
I think it was ketchup.
I thought it was some manner of baby food, some sort of applesauce.
What's like ketchup to me, anyway?
Maybe it was apple butter.
Maybe.
In the scene, I definitely saw that the painting of the clown.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
I missed it this time.
Yeah, I keep missing it.
Was it the same?
Super.
Was it the same?
No, it's different. It's really bright and colorful. Actually, I think it may be just like one of those. I don't think it's a painting. I think it's just like like a cutout for something. I think it's from the party because it's in the kitchen above the stove. I think they got it for the party.
Move on to the diner and we get some more new characters. Yay! We get Norma's mother and her husband Ernie. I'll let you guys say your thoughts because I don't really care that much.
Well, first of all, okay, on Traffic Light Watch, we've got Norma's mother wearing green and yellow, and Norma wearing a red sweater.
While we're on watches, I should mention the soup watch. Today's soup of the day is potato and spam soup. Anyone care for some?
No, call it a chowder, and then I'm there.
Okay. Potato spam chowder. Doesn't make it much better to me, but
I'm not a huge fan of Ernie, mostly because he applied a certain test to Norma to determine if he likes her or not. He said, "Can I bother you for a cup of coffee?" And then once she agreed to give him some coffee, he's like, "Nice girl."
oh yeah, that's not.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of him because his accent constantly slips.
What's his accent supposed to be?
I think he's supposed to be Southern, but he's clearly British.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, and if you, especially in the dinner scene later on, like it just goes.
I'll have to take a closer look next time I see him.
did you guys notice though how his demeanor is kind of like Hank's when he's like sweet talking the ladies? He kind of acts like overly. I don't really know how to describe it, but
Smooth.
yeah, really smooth. Yeah,
Or slick.
yeah.
I can't see that guy sweet talking anyone really though.
No.
He's got such a styling set of threads.
And a nice big phone.
You know, she says he's a financial analyst. I thought maybe he might have been a fashion designer or a male model, really, huh?
Yeah. These were so obvious.
That Jai phone was ridiculous.
Jai phone.
Ooh. Like, where did that even come from? That couldn't have fit in his pocket. There's no way.
They had bigger pockets back then, Brad.
Yeah.
Yes.
We accommodate bigger phones.
We get Gerard waking up to, like, his nub is apparently smelling Bob.
It was twitching like crazy.
He was sniffing around.
Does that freak you guys out watching?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so rare you see an actual amputee on television.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Especially one at the shoulder like that, where you still get the collarbone. I think that's the collarbone sticking out a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it seems to be.
Usually, an amputee is like at the wrist or the elbow, or. But yeah, I've never seen a close up of that kind of thing. So
Why is he being detained and watched? It's not. This is not a legal thing to do. You can't do this.
apparently, he's not a legal person. He's some sort of entity.
But you can't. No.
Yeah,
No.
I know.
That's
Well,
not a
he's
thing.
He's in a bad health situation. They're monitoring his health.
That's true
They're,
too.
You know, withholding his antipsychotic medication or whatever the heck it is.
Right, they're withholding his medication, first of all. And they've got a deputy outside. Like, if it was just a nurse, I would be like, oh, okay, it's because they're worried about his medical state, but clearly they're not.
Well, maybe the deputy's for his protection. Maybe if somebody tries to come get at him.
Mm-hmm.
Who's coming at him? Who?
Bob.
Bob!
But
Brad's not buying it.
either way,
No, later they tell him to take him back to the hotel and lock and nail the window shut.
I know, and he's like, no.
You can't. This is kidnapping.
Yeah. Here he corrects their mistake and he escapes. Beats down the deputy, but he apologizes.
He does. He just wants his freedom, which he deserves.
Yeah, see, they're not holding Gerard against his will. They're holding Mike against his will. And since Mike is an entity,
Gerard isn't there at the moment.
He's gonna end up in Guantanamo Bay before it's all said and done.
Okay, so then we get Hank coming into the diner, and he's been missing for 48 hours, but to me it seems like it's been more than 2 episodes. Am I wrong?
Is it ever since he got beaten up by Mag?
No. He got captured at One-Eyed Jack's.
Oh, yeah.
He's had a rough week.
Yeah. It's been that long. I didn't remember what happened.
I don't remember how many episodes ago that was.
It was whenever they got Audrey back, and then
It might have been 2 days. I don't know.
yeah, it could be.
Maybe it's just because we're watching this on a weekly basis, it seems longer.
Yeah.
But he manages to charm Norma again.
She was clearly not impressed with him, though, when he first got in. I was hoping she would stay that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that her mother is like in such good cahoots with him. You think the mother would be a little bit like, oh, your convict husband. Not a big fan.
Wasn't she like that at first, though? Wasn't she kind of talking down about her convict husband when he wasn't there, but then when he was there, she seemed to be all smiles?
Was she?
It was something about him learning to cook good potatoes in jail or something. I don't know.
In the stockade.
It seemed like she was I feel like she was genuinely concerned and genuinely happy to see him. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
I don't. It felt to me like it was like, oh, he shouldn't have been in jail. That was a silly misunderstanding.
Well,
From my experience, though, mother-in-laws usually like their sons-in-laws, but they never like their daughters-in-law.
That's not what sitcoms lead us to believe.
No? I see that in real life, though.
No. What do you got next, Mel?
I don't know. Let me check.
We've got Harry and his pileated woodpecker. Is that it?
Yeah, he's wasting time.
Yes.
He's bird watching instead of working.
Your job, Harry.
Always.
Pete does all the work for him.
You mean the bird watching?
He confirms the bird, and then he puts all the clues together, and Harry's just like, meh.
Yeah.
I was going to say they had some swell stock footage of that pileated woodpecker.
Yeah. They sure did.
I love Pete in this. In this whole episode, I love Pete.
Yeah,
I know.
he's great. I was a little bit confused by him later on, but even still,
He's a delight.
He's a delight, yes.
They're finally putting some pieces together about Josie.
Yeah, after she's gone.
I don't think her beauty would have been that blinding that you couldn't have figured that there was something going on there.
That she was up to something.
Yeah. Seems like they were all blinded by, her charming ways.
I did notice that also Pete's blurted confession of love was sort of a misdirect too, because Harry said that she sold the mill, and Pete said not exactly, and then instead of going into it, he burst out that he loved her.
Not in a romantic way, I'm assuming.
I don't know. Do you guys think Pete liked her in a romantic way? Do you think he liked her in a...
No, I don't think so.
No.
No?
I think it's like adopted orphan, like Anne of Green Gables way.
Like a fatherly kind of...
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. Sorry, I'm having flashbacks to being in Anne of Green Gables, the musical.
Oh, Brad, really?
Oh, yes.
That just causes you to just, roll your eyes back in your head and go, yay.
It was... Yes, it does.
Did you have a major character role?
No, I don't remember. I think it was random townspeople. The only thing I really remember from it was the ice cream number, because it's the worst song ever.
Oh.
And we had the worst choreography ever to go on top of it.
How old were you?
Oh, I was probably 15, 16.
Oh, okay.
Ice cream. Is anything more delectable than ice cream? Even the most respectable eat ice cream. It's lovely on a summer afternoon in June.
Now I really wish that Leland would have sang that now.
Yeah. So then we get Pete taunting Ben and loving it.
Oh, I'm loving it too.
Yeah.
Oh, he is relishing that so bad.
Let's get some opinions on the scene.
I loved it. Every second of it. Yeah, and I like watching Pete's face. He has the best expressions ever.
Yeah, I like the turn that his character is taking, where he's more involved in the scheming. Finally, where instead of before, where he was kind of like, but there's a fish in the percolator. Wacky Pete.
You don't find it a bit sad that they're kind of corrupting his good-natured ways and just pulling him into this wicked plot?
It's not that wicked. This guy slept with his wife, and he's angry about it. So he's taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
He didn't seem to be that angry though, because he was still he should be angry at Catherine too, but he was still kissing the tape recorder, oh, Catherine.
I think the thing is, he's gotten over the fact that Catherine cheated on him, and they've mended their ways, but he's still got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and that's why I love this. It's this is payback.
Hey Ben, you'll never kiss these feet again.
He says she set him up. could she have planned that entire thing, like the arson and her being in the? Is that what he means? The entire thing? She set him up.
He seems to be suggesting that since she is withholding his alibi, setting him up that way.
Yeah.
But how could she have like predicted that everything would go this way?
It's still a setup in the fact that she's faked her death, and now he needs her, so he's gonna have to sell everything.
How would she have known that he was gonna get implicated in this, though?
I don't think she did. I think there was a setup either way. But I think he's just talking about the fact that, I don't know, and there's less of a setup, like a long-term setup, is more of a current bamboozlement.
Yeah, maybe his wording just...
She's just taking advantage of the current situation right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah.
I have Marion Barry written down. Sorry, that's a little bit of an aside. I have Marion Barry written down, although he did stop one bit short of bitch set me up.
I think that she was scheming in regards to the mill. Like, she never actually wanted Ben to have it.
Yeah.
She always wanted to keep the mill, and she didn't want Josie to have it. And the whole Japanese act, like, that didn't happen instantaneously. That was set up for a long time. So there's quite a bit of planning done.
Which is that still going to be in the works now? I feel like she did this great plan, and I feel like now if Catherine gets all the stuff she wants, well, that whole Japanese ruse was for nothing. Which is awesome, by the way.
Wait, did we skip Andy?
We did.
Fainting?
Yeah, I was waiting to mention that.
Oh.
Andy doesn't ask very many questions. He just jumps to conclusions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bizarre and strange, incomprehensible conclusions, but conclusions nonetheless.
Do you think he actually thinks she had her baby, or do you think he's just fainting because he can picture her holding their baby?
Oh, Matt, come on, you know.
No,
He's that dumb? Okay.
Yes.
it's the newest thing in abortions.
I was giving him...
You hear the stories all the time about like teenagers and people that didn't realize they were pregnant.
Yeah.
She wasn't even showing, so...
And like it's late 80s, early 90s, those baggy clothes. At the end of the scene, when Ben rips up the pillows and yikes.
It's not so clean in there anymore.
I love his freakouts, though. He always wrecks absolutely everything in his path. It's just like Tasmanian devil or something.
Then he sits down in the toilet to get rid of his rage. Expunge it.
Nice choice of words.
Toilet humor.
He felt moved.
Oh, jeez.
Next is my favorite scene in the world.
Chicks and ducks and geese.
Has anyone heard that song before?
Yeah,
It's from Oklahoma, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, we're not familiar with musicals,
Yeah.
Matt and I.
It's a good one.
Is it? Should we watch it, even though we don't like musicals?
No, don't.
No, you really don't need to.
Don't start.
I
Don't try to
might.
dip in with the. No.
So, yeah, talk about this scene that you love, Brad.
I love Bob's antics. Like, he's so fun and carefree. He's just singing a song, swerving around. He doesn't care. I just love it. I love how much fun Bob has now that he's got a body to roll around in.
Yeah. I agree.
And then he gets pulled over. And is he about to kill Cooper? Out in the daylight?
There's some things that make me think maybe he wants to be caught.
But yeah, that's one of the things that has me wondering whether Bob is in complete control or whether Leland is fighting with him for. Come look at these clubs, and the bag has a club in it.
Yeah. That easily could have been the end right there if that call didn't come through. Cooper, what was he planning on doing? Cooper
Planning on friggin' bashing Cooper right in the friggin' face.
and getting shot by Harry.
I know Harry would have just hid behind the car.
Yeah.
I think he would have taken them both out and then taken out those like golfers in the background.
Just for kicks.
That's sort of what's so it's got me wondering. I mean, is Leland back there? Attempting to do anything to get caught, to get this wrapped up, or is he not there?
I think that's one possibility, and the other possibility is that Bob just enjoys coming that close to the edge and almost being caught, and that's why he leaves like clues under the fingernails and stuff.
I like that
Love him.
theory.
Love it.
All I can picture, though, like when Brad said that he enjoys rolling around in that body, all I can picture is Bob, like, going to bed at night and then giving himself a big hug.
Yes.
Good night, Bob.
Oh, I love it.
Good night, Leland.
Bob.
So we get the creepy rearview mirror of Bob. It's freaky, but it's so great. He's just smiling away.
So rad.
I could see in that moment, though, why you called him a squirrely peasant man. He had, like, that little squirrel face.
Yeah.
But he almost looked disappointed when they walked away. He was like, "Oh,
No fun for me.
wanted something to happen there."
Yeah.
All right, next, Hawk caught Mike again, and he brings him in. He's just doing what he's told, Brad.
I know.
Don't
He does it. He does his job well,
Yes.
but his job is wrong.
I'm not sure if Gerard was working all that hard on getting away.
No, he was hiding under a waterfall or something.
Why are they using him as a police dog?
Yeah. Well.
He's a Bob sniffing dog.
He's a human. Stop it.
Andy and Lucy try to have a private conversation here. Do you guys like Gwen?
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Just because of the ridiculous things that she says.
Yeah.
So, these are fun scenes.
Okay.
I mean, you're supposed to hate the character,
Yeah.
Yes.
so
Yeah.
she's enjoyable.
I like how she's so small town.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, it's just like a huge caricature of small town gossipy women.
I like how Andy tells her to shut up. Be assertive, Andy.
That's right.
And Lucy learns Andy could be the dad. That's all I got there. Anyone else got anything there?
Nope.
Nope.
Fun times.
Okay. Fun little scene. What's next?
You have Mike sniffing Ben. And he passes.
Well, not. He's close though.
Yeah, he's close, but he's not right there.
Not right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still not clear enough to them, though, I guess.
He's probably leaving it open in their minds that maybe he was in there and now he's not or something.
And then Harry loses it.
He steps right up and takes charge.
Well, Jerry kind of forced his hand. He had to do something, but...
Only because of his pride. He didn't have to, accuse him of murder. They had nothing to go on, really.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily a flight risk. I suppose he is, but
Yeah.
he could probably go just about anywhere.
But the case really is sketchy. I mean, they don't even really have a motive.
You don't think it's enough to arrest him on, huh? Or, I mean, charge him with...
They definitely don't have enough to try him on. Maybe they could hold him, but I don't know.
And it's really annoying that Harry chooses this point to start to question Cooper.
Wait a minute. This is the one moment where I'm finally behind Harry.
I knew you would love
And
this.
no one steal my quote.
Okay.
No. But it does sort of mirror the. Have you guys watched the Saturday Night Live episode by now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It does seem to mirror the end of that one.
If I throw this rock at the window and it smashes, then he's free to go.
But why was he playing along all the time before?
Yeah.
Was it just a game to him? And he's like, okay, no, it's serious. I'm going to take care of this now.
He was just intimidated. He is FBI. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, Harry was totally into all of it. All the giants and everything.
Yeah.
He was completely down. He's just happy that he's got someone to arrest now.
Although now that as soon as Cooper got finished saying, "Yep, you're absolutely right. I'll back off. You do what you need to do," then Harry didn't look so sure right after that. He seemed to be. He looked uncertain after that as to whether he was actually doing the right thing.
Well, that's because Cooper said, "Do what you need to do," which requires Harry to do something. You can't just relegate this to either Cooper or Hawk.
I did like how Cooper was respectful of Harry's turf, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not particularly interested in the next scene.
You are not.
Personally. Yeah, it's my own opinion. Does anyone else like this scene?
Sure.
Sure.
Just saying that to go against you, Matt.
I just like it because listening to the guy's accent disappear.
Well, they reveal that Ernie has been in with Hank, actually cellmates by the sound of it, or at least buddies in the yard, and that he's
Ernie
been out of
Professor.
Ernie the
Professor Niles.
Terrible nickname, but
and that he's only been out for 6 months. So I'm assuming that's the end of his term and not a parole, because if it was a parole, I'm sure Vivian would know that he was on parole. There'd be parole officers checking in and such.
yeah.
We're pretty sure that Ernie and Hank were prison lovers, right?
Right.
Prison boyfriends.
I missed you at the library and out in the yard, and
Behind the stacks. He claims to not gamble anymore, but we already know that's not true because he had what was he betting on earlier, like horses or something?
It looked like a football.
Or sports, yeah.
the big game.
Right. So he's not even being truthful with Hank fully, even though they're old buddies.
As it
Quote
were.
unquote.
Quote unquote bosom buddies.
There's that Anne of Green Gables reference again.
Do you think, is he implying he's going to blackmail Ernie here?
He's definitely seems like he's trying to work an angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This subplot's going to be slightly interesting to boring, I think.
Yeah.
I just got a feeling, because this is going to... I don't know. I feel this is gonna take a few episodes, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, it'll get very exciting, don't you worry.
Awesome.
Will it?
Yeah. I think so, but that's just my personal opinion.
Gets a little bit better.
Yeah.
So Coop is reviewing the whole day's events for Diane, and he gets a knock at the door.
I think the Great Northern could invest in some peepholes.
Yeah. You'd think he'd just, like, take it upon himself and just screwdrive or just, drill one through there.
I was surprised he didn't go for the bulletproof vest first.
I did enjoy how he had cherry pie and milk on his nightstand. I thought that was a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my notes say pie.
Yes, it looked delicious. It made me want some.
So, Audrey comes in. She's curious about the investigation and her dad.
And his gunshot wound. And then he, covers himself up like a prude.
Yeah.
Don't look at my nipples!
Well, he's already established he's not comfortable with this kid.
I know.
This kid hanging around in his hotel room.
I know.
This super foxy kid with major daddy issues.
She's still curling up on his bed, though.
I know. That's why he's covering up ever so carefully.
Yeah.
Making sure every button is buttoned.
Do you think she's halfway coming on to him, or is she just hanging out?
Halfway?
Well, I think when she was trying to assure him that, nothing happened to her at One-Eyed Jack's, that she implied that she was saving herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or him, maybe.
I'm still pure. Look, here's my unicorn. If there was an Audrey Cooper romance, would that be okay with you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Be great for
So
me.
the age isn't an issue with you guys. Okay.
No.
There's not an age issue. She's 18.
Yeah, she's legal.
Okay.
She's legal. And besides, when I was originally watching this, I was perceiving this from the age of 17 and thinking, go for it, man.
Coop's just a prude.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then we get, the phone rings, and he rushes out of there, and we get Maddie wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Another one bites the dust.
Not much to say about that, I guess.
Coop didn't get to finish his pie. That's
But
what
who
I
killed
said.
Maddie? No.
What do you think they're going to think about this?
Well, I feel like this should take Ben out of trouble.
Yeah.
Which again means Catherine created yet another elaborate scheme that's useless now.
Yeah, that if they can prove how long she's been dead and how long Ben has been in their custody, then yeah.
Yeah, it's a little close, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Everyone done with their notes?
That's all I have. Yep.
So let's rate the episode then. I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10 flashlight dances on a hook rug. Because I felt Leland and Ben and Pete and all my favorite characters were really good in this episode. And Bob. And, but I got to take off 1.5 because I was completely disinterested in anything that happened with Hank and Norma And I'm not that fond of Lucy's sister. But that's just me.
I guess I'll go with 8 out of 10 golf mats. I don't really have a whole lot of detail to go into in there. It's
just your gut feeling?
I'm going 8.
Okay.
I'm going to give it 8.5 sperm guns out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah, I really agree that there were some great performances from Leland and Ben. Some good scenes with them, and Pete as well.
What didn't you like about the episode?
Well, it wasn't just as exciting as some of the other episodes. It didn't live up to the other episodes, so I can't rate it as high as them.
Yeah.
But it was still a pretty good episode.
Yeah, not everyone can be, a big climax of some kind.
Yes.
I think I would have to go, 9 out of 10 diminishing accents. Just because I love this. There was... I wish we'd had some Nadine. That's the only thing I was missing.
Oh, yeah.
But I loved all of my wacky Leland Bob nonsense. We had Audrey being Foxy. We had crazy antics with Ben. We had Pete being awesome. Harry making sense. And Cooper being more interesting overall. And we got Lucy and Andy back, so I was very happy.
Yeah, I was glad to see Lucy and Andy, but I wish they hadn't brought the sister with them.
I wasn't sure what to give it at first, but my first gut, I guess, feeling was to go for a 9 out of 10 overly cooked salmon fillets. And that's because I feel that this episode is kind of a part of this trifecta of episodes that I really like. So I feel like I need to give it a... Plus, I really like this whole sequence of the whole Maddie murder, and so, 9 out of 10.
All right. Anyone write down some quotes?
I didn't harvest any quotes on this. Every quote that I could think of was actually more like a paragraph.
Yeah, there's a lot of long ones.
Here's one here.
Okay, go ahead.
From my friend Harry. Cooper, I've backed you every step of the way, but I've had enough of the mumbo-jumbo. I've had enough of the dreams, the visions, the dwarfs, the giants, Tibet, and the rest of the hocus-pocus. Now we've got hard evidence against Ben Horn, and it's my job to lock him up.
Did you slow clap?
I did. I stopped it for a second. I was about to tweet out, but I was like, I don't want to say anything in case someone hasn't watched it. Don't want anyone to know that I agree with Harry, unless they know what I'm agreeing about.
That rarely ever happens. I'll go with one from Jerry. Last thing a good defense attorney needs to know is the truth. You got one, Caitlin?
Yes. You must be that native person I've heard so much about. Eagle Eye.
Well, I should probably follow that with, God, how you must hate us white people after all we've done to you. Some of my best friends are white.
Well, if no one's going to say just what the world needs, another sperm gun running around.
Another Jerry one. Ben, as your attorney, your friend, and your brother, I strongly suggest that you get a better lawyer. Get yourself a better lawyer. Good advice. Any other runners up? Or you want to move on?
No,
you got one?
I just can't find it because I have way too many notes.
Well, of course, the part of that with the your blood has Laura's fingerprints on it, or your blood may have Laura's fingerprints on it.
Okay, I have my quote. Do you play golf, Agent Cooper? Yes, I enjoy its precision. May I show you my new clubs? Sure.
Is that the end of quotes? You got any more?
Ooh. Sorry, I love my quotes. Harry, are driver education programs mandatory in your school system? Yep. I think we gotta drop out. Harry, look out!
Yeah, that was I actually liked that a lot. That was some good writing there.
I liked it, but there was to think about the fact that Cooper went through this whole joke in his head. They could have been killed in the time it took him to deliver that.
Harry, are driver education programs mandatory in your school system? Yep. I think we gotta drop it.
And I really want to know what the song lyrics for this mean. Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in the Surrey. What's a Surrey?
Out in the Surrey with a fringe on top.
What does that mean?
It's a wagon of sorts.
A surrey is a wagon?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. And a fringe is like the covering for the wagon?
Sure.
I don't know much about Western wagons.
It's all right. Okay, I'm gonna add a new section here. Introduce a new section about what's new on our Facebook group. So I want to get people on the Facebook group, and to make it interesting for you guys, I'll let you know what's been going on there lately. So I'm just gonna scroll through. First thing I see is Micah Warren, past guest and author of the 35 Years of David Lynch blog, took one of our episodes and put the audio to a video slideshow and put it on YouTube. So you can see pictures of the things we're discussing, pictures of us at the first of it, so you can help discern the difference between Mel and Caitlin for some people who get them mixed up.
I really don't think we sound alike, but okay.
So that I know that took him a lot of work, and I appreciate that a lot. We have some really cool tattoos, a mural tattoo on somebody's arm.
It's like a sleeve
tattoo.
That's what you call them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except it's a leg.
Oh, it's a leg.
It's a leg?
You're right, that is a leg.
Oh, sleeve on a leg.
That guy's got messed up arms, but whatever.
Why do his arms have knees? Weird.
And Scott Schneider's been posting some old magazine articles, and
that's cool.
Sammy Carter has been posting his Twin Peaks collection, which involves a bunch of obscure books I've never even seen, but they would probably be interesting. Frank Kronog, I don't know how to say his name, posted a video of a song he's recording with Kimmy Robertson. Just them talking about, or they're planning it out. That's probably enough for now. All the other stuff is a bit older, but there's new stuff all the time, so check us out on Facebook group. Okay, so feedback.
All right, we have one from Trinidad here. Greetings, friends. Matt, Mel, Brad, Caitlin. It's a pleasure to meet your electronic acquaintance. I wanted to compose a quick email for you guys to express my appreciation for your efforts involving this wonderful Twin Peaks podcast. I've been a listener as of about a month ago when I originally found it online. I'm so glad you guys made this a reality. It really seems to be working out splendidly. Congrats. I just returned from the Twin Peaks Festival last week, and what a weekend, I tell you. This was my second year, but was so magical and surreal. Started off with winning the coveted Twin Peaks trivia contest, which, by the way, I trained for by reading Twin Peaks literature and listening to your podcasts, since there was no time to rewatch the series before the trip.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Cheryl Lee, Ray Wise, Sherilyn Fenn, Lenny Von Dolen, Phoebe Augustine, and Jan Darcy were in attendance for the Fire Walk With Me movie night and the epic Saturday night dinner. Sunday afternoon, most of the celebrities were still in town and came by the picnic to hang out for a bit. All in all, one of the best weekends, if not the best, in my entire life. I have a ton of pictures. If you're interested, let me know. I'm up to date on your podcast, and I love the dynamic between you guys. Also, I think you have chosen excellent guest hosts, one of which is Eben, and a friend of mine from the fest. What a guy. He won second place in the costume contest Saturday night as Bobby Briggs and was exact with his performance. Thought you'd like to know, I heard a few different people speaking of the podcast over the weekend. I think your listener numbers may increase in the coming weeks, and if you're ever looking for a different kind of guest host, just let me know. I'd be honored. I know an unhealthy and probably unnecessary amount of information regarding Twin Peaks. What a show, eh? Lol. Stay in touch, folks, and keep up the great work. Thumbs up. May the wind always be at your back. Trinidad.
Thanks a lot, Trinidad. A couple things there. All our spots for the guest hosts are unfortunately taken up now, but I can put you in as an alternate if somebody drops out. And yeah, the Twin Peaks Fest, another thing that was posted on our Facebook group was a bunch of videos from the Twin Peaks Fest, and you can actually see Eben's impression of Bobby, and it's pretty dead on. It's pretty good. All right. So Paul's going to read Claire's today.
Okay. All right. Hello, all. This episode is chock full of Hayward nepotism. The episode was written by Scott Frost, brother of show creator Mark Frost and son of Warren Frost, who plays Doc Hayward, and directed by Caleb Deschanel, who is married to Mary Jo Deschanel, who plays Mrs. Hayward. It's a Hayward Palooza.
Thank you. I was wondering about Caleb.
And then also, they are the parents to
Zoe,
Emily and Zoe.
Yes.
Of Bones and other fame. Movie fame, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
As the audience, we are now in strange position watching the show as the only ones apart from Leland who know that he is the killer. Did you enjoy this new way of watching this episode? Do you all think that Leland will be found out soon, or will they drag it out?
There's no way that's going to be drug out for long. He almost killed Cooper in broad daylight.
Bob is going to screw up.
He's going to have fun. He's not going to screw up. He's going to have fun.
Yeah. Will you be sad if and when that part of it ends?
He can't. I think if he got caught, I feel like he would somehow, I don't know, maybe if he can jump a body, maybe he lets Leland get caught, and then he has to work for a while to hop into a new body or something.
Okay.
But you can't have the show without Bob.
Okay. So you don't think they'll get rid of Bob when and if they get rid of Leland?
No, he's our evil supervillain. We can't be without him. I can't live without him.
All right, I'll continue. Great opening scene with a creepy house of creepiness. Donna and James are the worst friends ever. They really don't care that they didn't show up the night before when Maddie was expecting them. Sarah, knowing what the Pennsylvania 65000 does to Leland, reminding him about Glenn Miller Night might not be the best idea. I love Leland/Bob's little moment on the stairs. Was that a moment of Leland regaining control for a second?
Yes, I think that was another one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We also get the return of 3 characters we haven't seen in a while: Jerry, Lucy, and Hank. Jerry and Lucy I've missed. Hank, not so much. The Louise Dombrowski scene is one of my faves from season 2. It's not integral to the plot, but it is a great little character moment. The hook rug piece of music is lovely.
It was alright. I just think it should have been shorter, personally.
Yes, I agree. Lucy has brought her sister with her. Does she look familiar, Brad? If you imagined her saying the words, "I thought you'd be taller," while making sassy eyes at Patrick Swayze, maybe you'll be able to place her.
Yes! That's it!
What?
Roadhouse.
Oh.
Roadhouse.
Oh my god.
Just to blow your mind even more, she was also in Fire in the Sky.
Oh!
What? I never saw that.
Alien.
Thank you, Claire.
Oh, that's the movie that freaked you right out, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it scarred me as a child.
Harry and Coop leaving a hotel room together after a night out at the Roadhouse listening to Julie Cruz. Just saying. The Leland scene in the hall is my favorite moment from this episode. Leland/Bob isn't exactly being inconspicuous, is he? What are your thoughts on that? Ray Wise owns this episode.
Defo.
We spoke a little bit. We're not really sure if it's full Leland sometimes, full Bob, half and half.
There is no Leland.
Okay,
Bob.
Brad is sure it is Leland.
Potato and spam soup at the diner. Soup Watch is born.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we have traffic light watch too. There are red, yellow, and green mugs hanging from the antler mug tree in the sheriff's station.
Oh, nice.
Good observation. She must have had to pause the potato and spam soup too, because I had to pause it. There was no way you could read that.
Yeah.
Good work, Claire.
I love Pete as Catherine's cackling sidekick.
Agreed.
I want to talk to you about my sperms. Best line. Oh, Andy, it's great to hear your voice again after your mute turn last week.
It's funny he came back before Lucy, though. He went to go stop her, supposedly, and then he shows up, and then later she shows up.
You probably got lost.
Maybe he never made it. She just... Well, actually, yeah, we never even got a conclusion on what happened.
Yeah.
Did she have an abortion? Did she not?
Nobody cared.
Aw.
Well, I think it was the phone number for the abortion clinic, was that the one that was left by Dick, or was that the one that she had written down separately?
She had written it down at her desk, and but she'd labeled it her cousin's place or something. Then Andy called it, and it was the abortion clinic. And then we didn't see him, and we all assumed he went to go stop her. But
all right, should I continue?
Sure.
All right. Harry's speech to Coop is long overdue. It's about time he calls Coop. It's about time he calls Coop up on all his shenanigans. I bet Brad approved of that scene.
Defo.
The music playing during Audrey and Cooper's scene is another version of Audrey's prayer that played when Audrey was trapped in One-Eyed Jacks. It was later reworked with lyrics for Julie Cruz as the song Questions in a World of Blue.
I was wondering which one came first, the lyrical version or that one. Because I noticed it was the same melody, yeah.
Cooper even eats pie in bed. He's a man after my own heart.
Agreed.
I don't want to see Coop's heart, if that's his habit.
It'd be so full of shortening.
This episode could never match the previous one, but it is still a really enjoyable episode, particularly watching Leland/Bob, or as I shall name him, L. Bob, toy with everyone through his power of song and dance. I award this episode 8 out of 10 Snooky Bookums. Until next time, Claire.
You know, Claire, I would call him Le Bob. You know, French. Le Bob.
Le Bob.
It's really Leland Bob.
The Bob.
Thanks very much, Claire. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So that's the end for today. I guess all that's left to do is thank you, Paul Maki, for coming on with us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Absolutely, it's been a blast.
Yeah.
Do you wanna plug anything you've got?
I don't actually have. I'm a jack of many podcasts without a podcast of my own.
Oh.
I suppose the podcast I'd most likely plug that I've participated in the most and the most frequently is Jack Mangan's Deadpan podcast. It's www.jackmangan.com.
Ah, yes, I've listened to that one a few times. You pointed me to that before. What about you, Brad?
You guys can catch me on the Ramjack podcast and join our Facebook group. We're having good times. It's much fun. Go there, join it, listen to it, love it.
So we'll see you all next time for episode 17. Bye.
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 Au revoir. Thanks for listening. Check us out on twitter.com/TwinPeaksCast. Search for the Twin Peaks Podcast group on Facebook. And visit us on twinpeakspodcast.blogspot.com. Email your feedback to twinpeakspodcast@gmail.com.
Here's a tune for you guys. Okay. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.